Gucci. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Don't Be Mad podcast. The two of us are kicking back because the third one is missing in action.
Hey, he's probably watching.
Damn it.
He's probably watching.
I'm your boy, Matthew, okay, Lefty Lucky, and I'm joined here as always with...
Jason, the aura. I brought it back. I'm bringing it back for 2020.
The aura.
That's right.
He's not behind the computer today. He is sitting on the comfy couch. We have our boy Tyler manning the producing side of things, and Christina is hiding behind the curtain. Hello, how you doing? And it is our last episode before our holiday break.
That's right.
So let's get the festive stuff out the way. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. It's Festivus in December. Yeah. Let's say it is. Happy Festivus. If there's anything else, we're sorry we missed it, but that's all we know.
We're going to get complaints. Watch.
I don't care.
About inclusion. And
I don't care. We're not saying happy holidays. We're saying the actual holidays.
We're saying it the Merc way. Happy Christmas.
America. Happy NRA Day.
Yeah.
All right, we're not going to go that far. So how was your week, bro? How you been? How's the mental health?
Good, man. Can't complain. Just looking for a place to live right now. Still looking as usual. It's going to be a long process. I don't mind it, but, you know, the sooner the better. And once I move in, I'll be glad, but can't complain.
Like I say, man, you're going to find it. It's always tough around this time of year because there's less places that are available.
Reason why I want to do it this year is because I don't want to be caught up in the whole hoopla in July and June and all that kind of stuff. So it's better to. I don't mind the cold. I don't have much to move, so it's easier for me to do that.
Yeah. You'll get a place, man.
Yeah. What about you?
My week was good. We actually at work had our Christmas party this weekend.
You guys usually have big ass Christmas parties, right?
Yeah, it was the Union Christmas party.
Okay.
So it was pretty much a good, I think 200 to 300 people there.
Oh, it's cool.
It was nice and sloppy.
How are you guys all there and no one's at the hospital? Who's at the hospital?
Hey, that's none of my business. There's a lot of part-timers that were there for sure. But yeah, no, like a nice little $10 open bar affair. And let me tell you, there was one bartender, this older man. He was these tiny little glasses, like no more than 10-ounce glasses. 5 of them ounces, he was just pouring alcohol.
Jeez.
He was getting everybody loose. Like I feel like he was just there to watch the debauchery happen, and it was a good time, man.
But I guess because working in a hospital environment is very stressful for everyone that working there. So they kind of understand. Yeah, they'll go out all out for that one day, one night thing. So yeah, it's good to have something like that.
And it was good too because I think they were saying this is like the last one that our union specifically is going to be throwing, because now everything's going to be like centralized and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the whole system is going to be changing across all like the hospitals that are a part of the CS.
Oh, okay.
So like this was like our like JGH last like shebang, and it was a good time.
That's good.
I'm just hoping no pictures or videos surface.
There always are some.
There's always, just keep them to yourself. Show me first.
You just never know where they come from.
Post them out there. Yeah, it was a good time, man. It was a good time. It was unfortunate though that it happened like the same time as like the UFC. So I was like sneaking off at times, like watching on my phone to see what was going down. But it was all good, all fun, nonetheless.
I didn't even watch the USA. What was Sunday, right? Was it Sunday?
Saturday.
No, I didn't watch it. Sunday, I watched Tables, Ladders, and Chairs with...
See, that I missed.
It was...
Yeah.
You didn't miss much.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Because right on a Raw, you saw almost kind of the same thing. It was like, it's not much. You didn't miss much.
Because like I said, like at the party, like pretty much throwing it up on my phone, streaming the UFC. Because I wanted to see that Usman versus Covington match. And
the racist dude get his ass knocked out.
Seeing Maga get his jaw broken.
But you see...
Beauty.
That's what happens when you perpetrate hate and play up to that Donald Trump nonsense and all that stuff. That's what happens. You're gonna get the ghost of Martin Luther King punching you.
And looking at it as somebody who, I follow a lot of like the MMA stuff, like MMA Junkie, UFC. Like I follow even like the fighters themselves, and you saw like coming into this fight, essentially him playing up the MAGA card and then always wearing the hat, reading like the triggered book and everything. Like he did his job as far as like getting people invested in it, but it's like at what cost? Like is that the hill you want to die on just to like get a bit more followers and to get a bit more press.
Don't
into your
fight any more black people and you'll be safe. That's all it is. Don't fight any more black people because now you're just giving them fuel to beat
But
your
not only
ass.
that, it's like you had guys like Masvidal who came out and was like talking about how he like came up in the scene with Covington and knows like this person that he's being is not who he truly is. And even like John Jones being like, yeah, he's always been an asshole. He's been a dick, but this is just like him playing into something that's not really who he is.
All
you know,
that-
like everybody essentially just calling him a fake.
All that for a drop of clout. That's what it is.
A
All
drop
that-
of clout, exactly.
All that for a
man.
drop of clout.
Like that's what I said. Like, was it worth it to die on that hill? But you know, Usman did his thing. He went out there and it was funny because like watching the bits and pieces of it. You know, I saw the first round. Covington like did his thing. You know, like and the one thing I gotta say, like all the antics, all like the circus outside of it. Covington's still like a badass fighter. Like you got to give him his props where it matters. Like he's been like one of those guys that he's gonna put on a show for you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he, for the most part, put up a pretty good fight. And you know, you get your job run. I know a lot of people were like complaining about the fact that right after the match was done, he just kind of like ran out the cage, didn't say anything. But it's like, yeah, he had a broken jaw. Like he's got to go to the hospital.
Gotta
you know?
take
like,
it. I don't care if you have a broken jaw.
Like there's been a few people we've seen in the same situation where like they broke their jaw. Like there's a guy who fought Anderson Silva a few years back. Oh shit, I'm forgetting his name. It was a middleweight bout. But like him, same thing. Got a punch, broke his jaw, and like he didn't stick around afterwards. Like he went straight to the doctors in the back, getting the ambulance. So like when that happened, I know a lot of people are obviously considering like the optics of it.
Yeah.
You're gonna play it up. Like you're gonna fucking play it up.
You know what you step into when you're in a fighting sport. You're gonna get hurt. You can get hurt.
Yeah,
But again,
exactly.
But again, people are gonna be like, keep that same energy.
Yeah, and no,
Keep
I
that
agree.
same
It's
energy.
like the thing that I felt was dumb is when he got fixed up and he goes on, I think it was his IG live or whatever, rather than him just being like, you know what, lost to a good fighter, you know, I the reason I ran out is because my jaw was broken. No, he comes on now, he's like blaming the ref, saying, oh, a fake eye poke, a fake crotch shot, early stop. And it's like, dude,
It's not wrestling. Come on.
you clearly got beat. You know, like you clearly got beat. And say what you want if it's an early stoppage or not. You have a broken jaw. The guy's on top of you. He's pounding down on you, and you're just in a defensive position. You're gonna get a stoppage
His
in
whole
that,
jaw-
in that
if his
case.
jaw
You
didn't
know?
detach, if he what he wanted his jaw to be detached from his face.
And that's exactly
It's
it. So
like-
it's like you can complain all you want, but at the end of it, majority of people watching that fight said you were losing.
Hey,
That's what it was
happens.
at the end of the day.
That's what happens. That's the energy you're gonna get back when that's karma in its fullest effect. And I love seeing that happen to people who, you know what, they think as if nothing can touch them.
Yeah.
But we see what happens when, like I said, the ghost of Martin Luther King in those punches just tore out his face. And you know, now this is the kind of trend, especially with fighters who like to talk a lot. Like what's his
Happened
name?
to
Like
McGregor?
McGregor against he was versus what's his face?
Khabib.
That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna have a downward spiral now in your career. Like what happened? Like no one talks about McGregor.
Well,
anymore.
no. Well, the thing about
We
McGregor
talk about it, but he's
is,
just like, yeah, the Mayweather money.
like he's coming
doesn't have
back
to
now,
do it.
and that's the thing. It's like
Yeah.
he put himself in a position where, you know, like McGregor for a pretty long time was that guy who he talked the shit and backed it up, talked the shit and backed it up. But like he's the same way where he creates that circus that brings a lot of attention, brings a lot of marketing, and like the UFC needs that. And yeah, you met a guy in Khabib who it's like, I find no matter what your win streak is, no matter who you are, unless you decide to go out on top, there's always going to be that next person that comes up
That's right.
and gets
Someone's
you.
always
know?
going to beat you in that
And
sport.
Khabib was one of those guys who's like, I'm not here for the antics. I'm just a guy who likes to fight. And he fights well.
And that's him, Ronda Rousey. The both of them have that same attitude. When you beat them, you don't hear from them. They run. To me, that's running. When you don't hear from them for like a long time, to me, it's like, yo, you guys had this energy for years, and now someone beat you the first time and you're gone.
Well, to McGregor's credit, he is coming back now. He's going to fight a Cowboy Cerrone. And I mean, that should be a pretty good match in itself because, I mean, you're looking at two guys who essentially need to get a step back up in the UFC, you know, like considering what just happened to McGregor and then Cerrone has kind of been on an up and down. He's somebody who, if he can get a win over McGregor, it's just going to push him. And he's at kind of like the tail end of his career as well. Whereas McGregor, it's like, I won't say he's peaked yet. It's more a matter of how are you going to bounce back from that loss.
If he loses, his career is done. That's what I could tell you.
Yeah. Like, I got to see how you bounce back from that loss. Because, you had your Mayweather fight, which we all know that was just a paycheck for the both of them. It was a paycheck, like that's all it was. Now you're coming back to what is your bread and butter. And he's still talking shit in the press conference. He's still being himself because he knows how to get asses in the seats, how to sell tickets.
Same thing happened to Ronda Rousey, and her ass got whooped too.
It's just a matter of how are you going to perform when you're in the cage.
And the thing with a person like that who have that much confidence and they get beat badly, they go on suicide watch. Look at Ronda Rousey. She said she wanted to kill herself.
No,
that's what she said.
That bad.
That's what she said.
That bad.
She said, "I want to kill myself."
I don't think because look,
that's suicide.
That should happen, and you know what? WWE just knocked on her door and was just like, "Hey, we got a place for you.
Please." She wrestled for
she did a full year. Then she decided she wanted to have a family. Which I mean, all right, do your thing. You got paid for a year. You were like the longest reigning women's bullshit. It was handed to you. We know what that was all about, but. You did your thing afterwards, and you got like a bit of good press towards you as a result of it.
Yeah, but then it's done now. It's done.
Yeah, but no, they're hinting that she's supposed to be making a comeback now.
Okay,
so we'll see how that goes. Speaking of WWE, you said you watched TLC. I didn't.
TLC was good. Not really good. There was like the tag match ended in a DQ. But then on the next night on Monday Night Raw, the same teams face each other except without tables, ladder, whatever. And the OC, the OC, they beat the Viking Raiders. Yeah, regularly. But it was but this time not for the title. I was like, what the fuck? What's the point then?
Yeah, that's a weird.
I never understood the point of that. Why did you have them DQ in a pay per view, then have the OC beat them, but not for the titles? That made no sense to me whatsoever.
WWE. Especially when it came to this pay-per-view, like I didn't have much interest in it because there was no build-up to it, like outside of like the things that they were doing with like the Fiend and Bray Wyatt.
He didn't even come as the Fiend.
Anything else?
That's the thing. He didn't come as the Fiend.
Yeah,
he came as regular Bray Wyatt.
That's the thing. Like that was the one thing of everything I've heard about TLC that I actually liked. Like him coming out to like the Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah, it was just Bray Wyatt.
It was just like, but him showing how it's like. The Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type of situation where we know he's both people, but he's playing these two characters really well.
But again, I was like, then what's the point? Like, what was this whole thing with The Miz about then? Like, what was that? It comes up to nothing because Daniel Bryan came after and during that match.
That's the thing now. It's what are they going to do on Friday? Because those three are on SmackDown. So what's going to be the approach come SmackDown now? Is The Miz still going to be like protecting his family out of there? Now that Daniel Bryan's back with the yes move it, the cut hair, like what's he gonna be doing now? Like let's see where this goes. But like I said, the things that I saw of Bray Wyatt, I actually like because they're allowing him to be a personality.
Yeah.
Which is something that they've always suffered with allowing him to do. Like you had like the Wyatt family situation, all that, but they've never really just allowed him to be creative. This is the most creative thing we've seen WWE do in years.
He's doing his thing now, and what else could I say? Well, the whole thing with Rusev and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley, he won.
Yeah, I get two.
But it didn't. Again, it was like
two shits about that.
It didn't make any sense. It was just useless.
Just show us the Black Ross scene already, so we can all move on happy. Like that's all. Like every time they're doing their little thing, like where weeks ago they were like in bed together. I'm like. All right, so where's the porno? Like, let's get to it. if I'm not gonna see fucking cheeks clapping here, I don't give a fuck about this thing, man. Like, in all honesty.
The thing is, what I find so stupid about this whole storyline is that if you go on Instagram, you see Rusev and you don't see them together as much, but you see like Rusev has his dog in his picture of the very same day. Then you see Lana with the same dog in the back. Stage with it, and people aren't stupid. They know we have social media now. Yeah. How stupid? Back when we were younger, okay, this looked believable. The Rock is talking. The
Rock.
The Rock's talking about pussy all day, but we didn't know what that meant when he's talking about Poontang Pie. We didn't know what that meant. But now as you get older, we were like, oh fuck, he was really talking about that the whole time. No, but again, we have social media now. Bobby Lashley is married with kids.
Yeah,
Lana is married to Rusev, and we have social media. Like, come on. Don't play us for fools. Stop this old bullshit and just let it rest. I'm like, oh my god.
It's
funny to a certain point, but it goes too far sometimes.
When that story first came out, I was like, I don't give two shits about this.
I like Rusev.
Yeah, I just felt like it was one of those things where they were kind of testing the waters. But if you're gonna do something like that, like you really got to dive into it, and it's got to have a quick resolution. Like they drag that shit on.
It's still going on. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's still going on.
Like it's got to have a quick resolution. Like that's why I was like, after the second week of it, I was like, yeah, I see where this is going. I'm good.
Yeah, but that's all the updates. Oh yeah, my Lakers keep winning. Just love it.
Good for your Lakers.
We're gonna win a chip. I keep telling everyone. I told everyone what it was about. I told everyone.
All right. Look, you're so confident. I hope, for the sake of your sanity, that you get what you want, because this is all on record.
Yeah, that's fine. I know Lakers gonna win a chip. It's obvious. It's quite obvious.
I'm just hoping my team does better than they did last year. Look, we've been winning a few games here and there. Our last loss that we had, I believe, was against the Bucks. So it's all upward trajectory for my Magic, man. I just hope they keep up the good moves. We just gotta make a move now to get like a good offensive
Trade for Drew
player.
Holiday. The Pelicans are looking to trade him.
You know what? I would be perfectly fine with that, because look,
Drew Holiday.
Markelle Fultz right now has been playing incredible for us, and if we can get Drew Holiday in just to like give him some backup in that backcourt, it'd be beautiful to see. It takes a bit of pressure off of him. We can use Augustine a bit different than we have been using with a guy like Drew in there, who's going to be right out the gate, step up.
Yeah,
like you got to make that type of move.
Pelicans just won draft picks right now, because right now
Yeah.
they're terrible, but they're gonna get better with
Like
talents.
there's never been a better time to just look at that team and be like, all right, where's the offense we could take from that and help ourselves, because that's what Orlando needs right now. Our front court's good. Get the back court together.
Yeah,
That's all it is, man.
yeah. That's all for sports. That's all I got for sports.
You don't want to talk about all three of our teams losing?
Yeah.
Well, except for Jamali's team, who won, but he's not even here.
His
So
boy Eli's back to 500.
he made it to 500.
he
Wins
may-
his last game, most likely in New York.
He may become a Hall of Famer. We're not sure yet. He
I
may.
think he will be a Hall of Famer. Like I'd be shocked. I personally wouldn't have him as like a first ballot Hall of Famer, just because
I say wait like about
I
5-10 years. and
I
then
look
you're
at it
Hall of
as, if you're a first ballot Hall of Famer, there has to be a lot of there has to be a legitimate amount of consistency.
Yeah,
And
Eli-
that's something that he didn't have. Like
Eli was
he
not
had
consistent.
early in the career, it was there, and then coming towards the close of it, like the second half of his career, it was just like too many ups and downs, like not enough highs. And for that, to me, it's like you're not a first ballot, but you're definitely a Hall of Famer for the fact that you got 2 rings. You're 500, whatever. You managed to be 500, but like you played a very respectable career in one place at that, and you're a big part of why that organization, for the most part of the last 10 years, has been worth talking about.
True.
So you got to give him something for that alone.
Yeah. All right.
Just not first ballot. But yeah, like I said, all 3 of our teams
and,
lost.
And congratulations to the Cleveland Browns, another successful losing season of not making the playoffs. Another year of depression. I keep telling everyone, I told Tyler especially, that this team, they're the Browns. It'll never happen. They're like he took all the bad teams, and all the bad teams are getting the worst. You took the Knicks. The Knicks fired their coach.
I still respect him so much for that.
How could you respect anyone that takes the
Look,
Knicks?
as a guy who literally wasn't following any of these sports and just decides, look, whoever's last place, I'm going to cheer for them and I'm going to stick with it. Like, he could have literally picked anybody.
Do you know he took the Knicks, and you know who's last place right now? The Golden State Warriors. That's who you could have took, Tyler. You could have took the Golden State Warriors.
But that's the thing, if he had started, if he had started this
There you
year,
go.
but when he started,
There you
when he
go.
decided to just jump into it, whoever was last on the board, he picked. So I respect that, because no sane
Because you know what's
person
going to
does
happen?
that.
You know what's going to happen? Golden State is going to get the first overall pick. The Knicks are always going to get screwed in the draft. It always happens. It's like clockwork. So the Golden State Warriors are going to get that draft pick, number 1 draft pick, and they're going to get back healthy, and they're going to have Clay
Look,
and
don't
Steph.
listen. Trust the process. Don't
trust-
listen to him. Trust the process.
Stick with the old reliables. I grew up a Laker fan. I'm always going to stay a Laker fan. Stay with greatness.
But
Took
that's
the
like,
Knicks.
you grew up into that mold, so that's your mold. Like, you can't fault him for just having no clue about anything and just being like, you know what, this is
But
what
I
I'm
don't
gonna.
want- I don't want-
This is who I'm gonna watch because they're last place.
But I don't
only
want
up from here.
I don't want Tyler to have that misery. I don't want him to have that New York misery that people have been have since 1973.
Hey, look, there's been some whispers about Masai going over there.
He's not going over there.
Look, I'm not saying if he will
Absolutely
or
not.
won't, but
No.
he out of his own mouth has said he wants to take a team from the ground up and like just build from that. And right now, there's no other team you can literally take from the
No,
ground.
no. The Knicks are not on the ground. They're in the core of the earth. You can't do anything with that. You can't do anything with that.
Only way is up from there.
No, they can go.
And you know what? If a guy like Masai ends up there, people will actually want to go there. Because the problem right now is just it's Dolan, man.
Well, exactly. If Dolan's the owner. If he's there, no one's gonna go there.
Dolan wants him. Dolan wants Masai though.
Please. Yeah, Kevin Knox scoring on his own basket. Oh my god, this Knicks team. Oh my god.
Only the Knicks.
All right, let's go into our main thing because
continue our best of or favorites of the decade talk.
Yes.
This week is going to be TV, which Jamali was so excited for, and
I know
he's not here.
he's the one who watches like the most TV probably out of all of us, and he's not here for
Can't text us. Can't answer the phone. Wanted to do this one the most, not even here. What a lad.
Whatever.
Yeah, we got some TV to chat about, so let me open up my list.
I know all my I don't watch too much TV, but the list I have on my head, I know what I want. I know what I like.
Well, I know like a few that are just like right off the bat, like, you know, the Peaky Blinders and the Game of Thrones, and
I wouldn't put Game of Thrones. No, not for me.
No, I'm putting it, even though. And look, we're starting. Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Hands down, one of the best shows of the decade with one of the worst endings to ever happen to television. And I say this as somebody who genuinely hated the way The Sopranos ended.
Because you were more well, the thing was with me when I saw Game of Thrones, I kind of binged the series. So you were more invested into it. So you had to actually wait seasons.
I was
seasons.
The only
and stuff
season
like
I binged was season 1. And that was after like Epi, shout out my old roommate. He like highly encouraged. He's like, dude, you're gonna love this. It's fantasy. It's medieval. It's like politics. It's all this. And I was like, you know what? Cool. Like, let me know when like this many episodes are in. And then like I literally one night just binged the fuck out of like 6 episodes straight. To the point it was like 3 a.m. and I'm like, shit, I gotta work tomorrow. You know, like that type of shit. But after I went through the first season, he told me about the books, and then I read the books. So the books is what really got me hooked. As much as I love the show, I pretty much in one summer went through the first 4 books. Just every day, even at work, getting in trouble at work because I would like rush through my shit and like start reading, right? And when it came to the show and the show caught up to where the books were, I saw exactly where the downfall was happening. And I was like, you know what? I expected to slip a bit considering we're going beyond what George R. R. Martin's given us.
Yeah, and plus the shows are going way faster than you could actually come out with books.
And the thing about it was mostly just understanding, like, me as a fan respecting the fact that this is a book that within itself has hundreds of characters. And, like, that's not an exaggeration. Like, in the beginning of each book, they give you a list of every single character that's in the book, what house they're a part of, what regions they're in, like everything. And like you get the map to show you like the whole world of it. And oftentimes when you're reading, like you'll see a name and you'll go and like check the list because you want to remember, okay, what house, like where they
you
from.
want to have an image of what it is.
Yeah,
that's
because a lot of times like there's 2 different Robs. So like they'll be like Rob of house this and you know, like, so it's dense. The show obviously can't give you 100
gets
characters.
Close to it though.
So yeah, what they did, which was smart, was they just took the main most important storylines that they needed and if necessary melded 2 characters together or switched up certain characters or omitted a storyline but kept its basis depending on who was involved with it. I mean, you got to work with what you have. But once it came to how we're going to end it, they just completely disregarded everything that made the politics,
the people,
fantasy.
The people.
Yeah, it's like
when they killed Varys, with the dragon. I was like, what the? This doesn't make any sense. First of all, he was acting weird from like I think 2 or 3 or 2 episodes before the finale.
Yeah,
I was like, this doesn't make any sense for him to act this way, or it's like it's completely out of character.
It's the way that they set it up.
Yeah, and it was completely out of character. Then you see people like there's such weird things. Like for example, there's 2 episodes before where the second dragon gets killed, But then in the before last episode, her dragon that she's on is going towards a whole bunch of boats with the arrow things, and they can't kill it. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. No, there's a lot of things about it that, like, the biggest thing about that bugged me, it's you have all these seasons that are building these characters. And the one thing that's like a common theme with every single one, whether they're doing good or doing bad, is they're overcoming the things that were the stigmas that held them back. Like Jaime Lannister, his biggest thing was always being titled the Kingslayer.
Yeah.
And his redemption arc is all about how he's overcoming this thing, but at the same time, you're seeing how the only way he's going to find redemption is to literally become the thing again that he's trying to run away from, which is, in this case, would have been a Queenslayer. So how do you build this story of he's going to redeem himself, but at the same time, the very thing that made him who he is, he's seeing in his sister, and he will most likely have to be the one to stop her.
And they both die from rubble falling on their
And it's like, I am who I am, and just runs. It's like, no, you've brought us away from this.
You know what it seems like for me?
Lazy writing.
For some, lazy writing, and it seems like they want to move on to something else really quick. It seems okay, this. But,
they wanted to make a fucking show about how the Confederacy won.
Okay, who wants that? But okay, but because of that, because of the Game of Thrones thing, Star Wars said, "Nah, you're not doing a Star Wars movie because of this anymore."
Oh no,
Fuck
it's like
that
because it was just a matter of, and their biggest mistake was probably just not having a writer's room, because sometimes you need a couple more ideas in the room to help you flesh out. Like George R. R. Martin didn't write this book completely on his own. Like he had other people that, if he felt the ideas weren't working out well, he brought it to them, have them flesh it out, have them say, this is good, this is bad. And even though it is his love child, it's made with the opinions of others.
That's why for me, it's hard to like put it in like one of my top shows of the decade. Yes, it was good for a couple of years, but then after the last 2 seasons, I'm like,
yeah, I didn't like the finish.
I just didn't like. I didn't get where it was going because it had a lot more story to it, but they just crammed it.
Yeah,
but yeah, whatever it is.
The finish was just the only thing, but I still love the show.
A show I would put for one of my top shows, a more newer recent one is Altered Carbon.
Yeah,
on Netflix, of one of the best shows of the decade.
Yeah, I
that
really did like
show is what Blade Runner, the whole concept of Blade Runner, should have been.
Yeah,
I just love the whole aspect of like. There are people who are living in this world that they can essentially live forever. You just have to take out that little disc in their neck, and they can go into a different body. Or if they have the DNA of their original body, they can go into it. They could jump from different bodies to the next bodies. And the whole concept of the main character, he's like, they brought him back. They know he was a terrorist back in the day, but because of his skills, they brought him back as like a detective, kind of, or a private investigator, whatever. And it's just the way how it didn't seem. It seemed like, how can you say it? Like, it didn't seem super futuristic. It seemed very believable in a futuristic.
Like it was still like a cyberpunk futuristic world,
but it didn't seem that way.
Yeah,
though.
it wasn't done over the top.
It seemed very realistic.
Yeah, it was still like you're looking at a futuristic world, but it's not so dystopian that it throws you off of just what's happening. You know, like the surroundings, the world they're in. Like it was just done very well,
very believable.
Yeah.
Very. I never read the books. I know they have the books, but I never read the books. People say the books are good to it. Supposedly for season 2, it's gonna be Anthony Mackie who's gonna be. It's still the same person, but it's a different actor. Different actor.
Which is, I like that they're gonna be doing that too, because it's gonna give you a fresh look. Yeah, you know, I mean, like the actor, I can't remember the guy's name, but
Joel Kinnaman.
Yeah, Joel Kinnaman. Like he played that role phenomenally.
It's great.
But even within that, you still had the original.
His original person, his original
that
character
was always in it too. So it's like you were getting like both sides and both ways, but it's like they're acting the same way, but it's two different people acting.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see like Anthony Mackie act the way they did, because you got to continue the manner. Is just it's a different body now.
That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be sick.
I'm gonna be That's one thing I'm going to be paying attention to when that new season
show.
Comes
I really liked it because it was I could say a new modern. It's a new way of seeing cyberpunk. I could say. Yeah. It's in a world that, like, Blade Runner was in a world back then. It was like, it's possible. When I saw the newer Blade Runner, I was like, okay, I kind of liked it. But this one, to me it seemed more believable. Okay, this is where we're going to be in the future.
This world, it's not as like, it doesn't have such a post-apocalyptic feel.
No,
which I feel Blade Runner has a bit more of that.
Yeah,
type of
it
feel.
was a lot more post.
You know, like this one, it's more like no, like it's just the future. There's rich people, there's poor people, but it's still a bit more stable.
And it's crazy, like you literally have the rich people in the clouds and the poor people really on the ground. But again, it's you. That's possibly when you see today's world, it's kind of a reflection of where things are going. And that's what I liked about that show. That show was really amazing. Christina didn't like it because I think it's episode 3. There's a really violent episode. Christina didn't watch it. She likes the story, but she can't watch it. It's where he gets caught.
Oh yeah,
and he's in the cyber world there.
Yeah.
And he breaks free. Spoilers for anyone who didn't see it, but he starts killing everyone.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And Christina didn't want to see it. I was like, but Christina liked it though, the story was. But it's hard to see something like that if you're not used to all that blood and all that kind of shit like that. I really like that show.
No, another show as I mentioned before, Peaky Blinders, man.
I heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Like, I love UK shows because they don't waste fucking time with filler. It's a show that like each season is 6 episodes. Every minute, every scene counts. And it's like the story flows. But it's like, it's set in, I believe, 1915 in season 1. So it's like super old, like Birmingham, United Kingdom, like, and it's just about this guy who he races horses, but he's also part of a gang, and like they just do illegal activity to get their family to the top. And each season, it's like they just another level.
Sounds like it sounds like Sons of Anarchy, but
better
than Sons of Anarchy.
Doesn't hold a candle.
Sons was pretty good.
And that's not like I say that as like a Sons fan, as a Mayans fan. But like the thing
I haven't seen the Mayans yet though.
The thing about Sons, there's definitely filler in Sons. Mm-hmm. And there's scenes where you're just like, okay, this is just, I don't believe this for a fucking second. You know, like when it comes to Sons of Anarchy. But Peaky Blinders is just like, yo, you're looking at the setting. First off, everybody is fresh to fucking death. The drip is incredible. Like these guys dress well. And then you just see the shit they do to make sure their family is good. But it's not like they win everything. Like they take some serious losses.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, how are you going to bounce back from this shit? Like it's fucking good. Definitely worth the watch.
I try to check it out. What's a newer show. And I think it's No. Daredevil.
Yeah, that's
Daredevil.
on my list too.
Daredevil. And
pretty much a lot of those Marvel
Daredevil and Punisher. I'll put Daredevil and Punisher together.
Yeah.
Because they came out.
Yeah, they kind of worked off of each other.
They worked off each other,
for
but
the most part.
Daredevil, man, those one take shot. I'm like, wow.
I mean, episode 2 of the first season.
First season is ridiculous. And Daredevil, like, that is the proper way to do a superhero TV show.
Yeah.
Like I still like, you know, stuff like Arrow, The Flash, even to the degree Smallville started it all, I could say. But Daredevil and especially Punisher, they took it to the next level.
Well, I feel like with those CW like DC shows, the problem that they have is the fact that they're on like the network television and they still want to work to all the demographics. And like they know with the CW shows, they're gonna have you're gonna have your action, but you gotta have your heartthrob. You gotta have your like damsel in distress, and all right, what's the love angle here?
They know their audience.
Yeah, it's like they know the only way that they can really get 24 episodes out of this storyline is if they put that filler of relationships and all that chaotic crap that really just drives me away from those shows.
No, but the thing about Daredevil and Punisher, imagine we didn't know anything about Marvel, and there was these people running around like that. This is actually believable things. Yeah. There's actually could be maniacs, like not maniac, but like someone like the Punisher just killing mob bosses and all that stuff anywhere in New York. Same thing like Daredevil, just because to me they're street level heroes in the Marvel universe, but they're the most realistic out of these heroes. Like they're not an Iron Man or like
Luke Cage, who's bulletproof. Jessica Jones,
Luke Cage, Luke,
super powered.
Yeah, those are two. Iron Fist too. Iron Fist 2 was a little bit, but Daredevil and Punisher, these are people that are extremely human, and just the realism of that world.
Except for the blind man being able to jump buildings.
Well, yeah, there's that too. But the whole story aspect of it, them living their lives, Punisher going out for revenge for his family, Matt Murdock avenging his dad who got killed and everything. It's just, and you know, when it first came out, it was just, you know, no one said, "Oh, why are you guys getting back the rights to Daredevil to do this from Fox back before Fox sold things? Why are you doing that?" Because the Ben Affleck one, yeah, it was terrible. It wasn't the worst travesty of all time. I've seen worse, but
Elektra.
Yeah, Elektra was really bad. But Catwoman was the worst. Yeah, Catwoman was the worst. Green Lantern was better than Catwoman. I could say that.
Like Catwoman is a movie that, if you just want to like smoke a couple J's and throw that on,
I can't bear to watch it.
You will be entertained out of your mind because you'll be even high. It's so unbelievable.
Can't bear to watch it. No, but
like that's how bad that movie is.
But bring Daredevil to, like, you know, you kind of not humanize him, but you kind of see like a damaged man. He's trying to do good, like real good in the day, but he's also trying to take justice into his own hands at night. And it's like an internal struggle he has with himself. Like, do I want to be a good lawyer and do this? But do these assholes deserve a beat down as well?
Yeah.
And that's why. And Punisher just like, you sympathize with a dude who lost everything. And
he's basically a guy who has a death wish, but in that death wish, he's just so fucking badass about getting the job done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but one thing I loved about that show is just the way they did the fight scenes. The fact that they don't make him just be this almost unbeatable person.
They get tired when they actually fight. Yeah. That's the
like,
most sense.
You got this human guy going up against 20 dudes. He's getting cuts. He's getting shot. Even though he comes out in the end, or sometimes he doesn't. Like, he gets beat up and tied down and everything, you know? Like, but you see, it's like, it's not like I'm just kicking all your asses and walking away like dusting my shoulders off. Like, no, I'm walking away limping, holding ribs because they're broken.
You're bleeding out.
Have to find like a nurse who's gonna help me because I can't go to the hospital. Like that type of shit. Like, no, they did it really well. Like
that's a good series.
I hope they reconsider the whole way they're gonna ship it because I think it's all gonna be ending up on Disney Plus most likely.
What happened is they're closing down all of Disney Television, so that's even including all the stuff they have on TV right now, and I think they're gonna start incorporating them all in the movie. So yes, I think the actors will come back, but they're going to be in the movies, which is what I don't understand why Daredevil wasn't in. Like, you could have put him in Civil War, not Civil War, but you could have put him in. Well,
I don't think they licensing wise they could have at that point because they still had to put out the second season because Netflix has weird rules when it comes to not just like TV shows, but even like when it comes to comedians and like the type of material that can go onto other platforms.
But now I think after, as soon as it hits 2020, they'll be able to start redeveloping Daredevil and all the rest of those shows too. So let's see what happens with that.
All right, another show I want to throw out there. This one is it's close to my heart. This Is Us.
Woo!
When I talk about a powerful show, and you know what?
I think
it was season 3. It kind of took a bit of a dip, and I was worried. I was fucking worried.
I can't stand shows like that.
Season 4, woo! When I tell you when I say they picked up the emotion and the tugging at the heartstrings.
Listen,
I love me a good show that makes me just look at family and be like, we got to do better,
dude. I don't want to I don't want to watch a TV show that's gonna make me feel sad.
It's not even just like it doesn't just make you feel sad.
It's depressing though.
No, dude, it's not depressing at
all.
Like,
why do I want to hear sad stories about some Vietnam?
It's not sad. It's perseverance.
What perseverance?
It's overcoming the odds.
Like who was telling me that this is like real life situation? I'm like, no, this is not real life situations.
It's real.
This is not real.
It's real.
No,
it's real. If you believe.
I don't, and I do not believe. I don't get it.
No, I love it. But what I love about it too is like the acting. Honestly, everybody on this show, they do their fucking they hold their weight.
I don't doubt
even like the children on the show hold their weight. And that's one of the things I really love about it.
I don't doubt they're good actors, but do I really want to feel like no, I don't want to feel that.
Yeah, you want to feel
when emotion. I go home, I want to see action. I want to see something that like can I can let out the stress. This is why people watch hockey games, because they like yelling at the TV. They want to let out all the internal stress from the day. They don't want to keep all that stuff in.
We are on the same page. I told you about Hobbs and Shaw. We are on the same page when it comes to wanting to see that action.
I didn't. Well, Hobbs and Shaw was okay, but I found it too ridiculous.
But sometimes you want to dial it back a bit and just see something that has a bit of heart, has a bit of root and foundation.
I couldn't do it.
That's what This Is Us is, man.
I could not do it. What other show? Oh yeah, another recent one. That's coming back for season 2. Actually, The Boys. The Boys is, I would say right now, is probably the best, you could say, superhero show on TV.
But yeah, it's a bit, because I was gonna say, like, as far as like the comic book shows go, like just judging from what's come out 2019, that and Watchmen.
Very, very different from the typical superhero thing. Yeah. You actually see flawed heroes. And I mean flawed, I mean bad.
Yeah, no, they're just
bad heroes.
They know who they are, what they're capable, what their reason of being is for, but at the same time, they're not just heroes. Like they're human behind being heroes as well.
Yeah, and they're flawed humans too. They're very flawed people in this position of power that they can do anything, like Homelander.
Oh, he's the best character in the show.
He's the absolute asshole of the show. No, Carl Urban.
No, I'm sorry, man.
Carl Urban is the best.
I'm Homelander all the way, man.
No. And what my favorite scene in The Boys is when Carl Urban, what's his character's name? Why am I forgetting it? Butcher.
Yeah.
Billy Butcher. He goes after Haley Joel Osment in the bathroom and starts bashing in his head on the sink. I was like, I've always wanted to do this to Haley Joel Osment. I just couldn't do it. Since The Sixth Sense, I was like, I can't stand this kid. And someone finally did it. Someone finally did it. I was like, yes. I waited almost my whole teenage life for Kingdom Hearts 2, and you couldn't rush him to do the voiceover. What the fuck is wrong with you? Because he did the voiceover for Sora in Kingdom Hearts.
No, that was a great scene. But like, best scene is Homelander and the girl on the airplane. When he was basically just like,
oh, he says, oh yeah,
we can't save him.
And he's the one that lasered up the whole place. I'm like,
you're the reason you can't save them. And he's like, yeah, they can't do that shit. Look, if I go underneath and I try to push this plane, I'm just going to go right through it.
He's going to go right through it.
And if I actually take my time and try to stop it, they're all just going to suffocate anyways and die. So we got to leave. I was like, you know what? He's got a point. Get the fuck out of there.
But it was like, take at least a little girl or something like that. He's like,
don't die with him.
He's like, all to the people and like, all right, everyone, stay back, stay the hell back. Wait, all you. I was like, everyone's like, wow.
Yeah, no, that was.
He's like top villain in TV right now. Oh yeah, top villain.
Because it's like he's a guy who he's basically if Superman didn't give a fuck.
I think he's way beyond that, though.
No, but he's a
little bit beyond that.
He even in the season, like the way he's talking to the other superheroes, the way he's talking to like the heroes, he's like, if I want to kill each and every one of you,
can do it.
I will. The only reason I do this is because what else am I gonna do?
And he has no weak. He doesn't have like a weakness like Superman or anything like that.
Well, that we know of.
We know of yet. I'm not sure if anyone's read a comic. I read the comic book. I kind of know where it's supposed to go, but I think
I haven't read it. So
I think they're going a completely different way. Yeah, they're going a completely different way as compared to the show. It kind of branches off into. Well, if you've seen I'm not going to really spoil anything. The whole plane scene was essentially they had a mission where essentially they caused 9/11 by accident. That's what it is in the comic. So it's not, but it's nothing really changes in terms of that. The people still die in the plane and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, that's kind of what it was. They were given a chance to fix something, and Homelander again, he screwed up. That's what happened in the comic. Nothing really changes differently. But yeah, The Boys, it's really good. Amazon, if anyone has a chance to see it, I see it right now. Yeah,
no, I agree.
Go on Amazon Prime. If you have an Amazon account, go and check it out. It's really good. Really,
sticking with the recents, like I said, Watchmen, man. Like the finale was just this Sunday. I watched it today.
I'm very torn on that show though.
Dude, Watchmen, what I love about it, it's not just like it. Well, it is an extension of the movie and the comic itself. Yeah. Like you get the Easter eggs and there's throwbacks and there's even like you have Ozymandias in it. You have Dr. Manhattan in it. Like even Hooded Justice, he's in it
Silk
as well.
Spectre, but she's old.
Yeah,
now.
she's older. Like it's basically like I think it's what 20 or 30
years after. Yeah,
after like the events that happened in The Watchmen. So from 1985, and everything is just about like what those events did to the world today, but specifically in like Tulsa, Oklahoma, of how like all those events led to this one moment where honestly I can't really explain any of it without giving spoilers away, but you have a racist group in Tulsa, Oklahoma who's essentially trying to kill Dr. Manhattan and all the things that unfold as a result of that.
If you guys watched the movie, it's all because of Rorschach's Journal.
Yeah.
It all started because of that. Yeah. That's essentially what happened. No, but
it's fucking good, man.
Watchmen, I struggle with. I like the movie. I like the movie a lot. I thought it was really good.
I love the movie.
Ending. The ending was kind of weird because I knew how the comic book ended with the whole
giant. Well, that's
giant
the thing.
octopus. This one does. This one.
The show is all about the giant octopus.
Yeah.
And how everything from that is what's going on here, and basically people's fear of like aliens, but then finding out the truth and how everything's going about. Like it's messed up
to me, how it is, and even from the comic, and I don't want to spoil Dr. Manhattan who hasn't ever seen it. Well, anyways, anyone's watching this, I'm going to spoil it. So when I do
the movie or
the show, a little bit of the TV show.
No, go for it.
So after I do this again, that means I'm out of the spoiler. So now I'm spoiling it. No. So Dr. Manhattan, I don't understand because when he left, he didn't give a fuck about anything.
Yeah,
but he's back again, and he actually cares again to a certain point. And I don't understand his way of thinking, because he knows like, oh, things are inevitable, so why bother doing it? Yeah. But you have the power to do it. And when I was watching the movie of the comedian, when the Vietnam woman that he had pregnant there and he shot her, he said, you could have turned my gun into steam and stuff like that, but you didn't care. And all of a sudden he cared. His character is always weird to me. It's like. Yeah. He's a lot of the causes of the problems of what's going on.
They explain it a bit, because they talk about how he isn't living in just one time. He's living in everything.
Yeah, he's living everything.
So because of that, it's like he knows essentially what his actions will do, the good and the negative of it. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like he can't control time because he is time.
Yeah.
But as a result of that, that's why he doesn't care, because no matter what he does, he's always going to be somewhere else.
It's just weird. I don't like, especially in this series now, his character, like, what? I don't understand his point. He comes back to die.
Did you not see the finale?
Huh?
Did you not see the finale?
Yeah, but he gives his powers to, well, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
We don't know. We're not even sure if it's going to be a second season.
But that's the thing. It's like, because as somebody who lives in the all, he knew he was going to die. So essentially he knew who he was going to give his powers to, which means he knew this was the right person to do that with.
I just find that for someone who's a being of all knowing, he's a very naive and dumb person as compared to Ozymandias. Like,
well,
Ozymandias is like,
it's weird to say he's like all knowing, because he's only all knowing of his own path. Because like you said, like he can't change the future. He can't alter realities. Mm-hmm. He only knows his lifespan. Like he knows everything that's going to happen to him. So because of that, it's like, yeah, what Ozymandias did, he knew that Ozymandias was going to do that to him, but he couldn't stop it from that. The same way he was like, yeah, I'm going to die. He knew exactly how he was going to die, but he couldn't stop himself from dying.
It's just very, very weird. But you know, it's the same dude who freaking wrote Lost. So what the fuck do I expect? Like they couldn't. Lost was.
But I felt they did he did a better job with what he did with this.
Well, yeah, because it's self-contained. Lost was just
shit.
I don't know how people watch that show. It was just okay. There's a smoke monster. Then there's a tunnel that leads. Where does this all go? And it never. There was no payoff to Lost. There was absolutely no payoff.
One of the worst shows ever.
All right, well, forget that. Watchmen, yeah, I can't put it on my top show. I wouldn't say I didn't enjoy it.
I'm saying of this year.
Yeah, but
definitely for me.
What's another good show that came out? I'm thinking. Do you have anything on your list?
Which one was I going to mention?
Because I'm sure we've seen.
Yeah, I was going to say, going in like if we wanted to keep up with newer things that came out, Demon Slayer, the anime.
Demon Slayer, I know of it, but
just throwing in a cartoon in there. Well, an anime. I want to be more specific. Really good.
Demon
Really,
Slayer.
really
Have I
good.
seen
For the
Demon Slayer?
anime lovers out there, it's about this dude, Tanjiro, who essentially is becoming a demon slayer because a demon wipes out his whole family except for his sister, who the like king of demons turns into a demon. But then he manages to like get her to not want to kill humans and like actually work with him in slaying demons. So it's like their whole path of trying to like go up the ranks of demon slayers and go after the king of demons who slaughtered his family.
Mhm.
So right now, like the first season essentially is done. And I know there's a movie that's supposed to be coming out in 2020, but they haven't announced exactly when. It should be like the next following arc. But it's really good. Like the artwork's good. The writing of it is actually really good
If we're
as well.
bringing anime to this, I have so many shows. I watch anime. Like,
Well, I mean, there's
I
like
watch
an
anime
anime.
like crazy. Like,
Yeah. I mean, like there's a bunch we could do, like My Hero Academia, which came out in the
My Hero Academia is pretty good.
Yeah, like that's another one that's more recent that came out. Speaking of
Attack on
2010s.
Titan is
Yeah, that right now I would say
ridiculous.
is like between that and Tokyo Ghoul, like those two are like my favorite.
I didn't like Tokyo
It came
Ghoul.
out-
It started off well, but then
I
after it was
loved
just
it.
like,
I loved it.
I didn't like Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan is like, I'm not sure if you read the mangas or anything like that.
No, I'm actually gonna start them when the show's done.
Oh,
No, I don't care.
you have to
Okay.
read the mangas.
I'm gonna read
mangas.
them. I don't.
Where you think it is right now?
Oh, it's cool. It's cool. I'll read the mangas.
Just like say if you lived on, let's say if you can breathe on Mars, and that's the normal for you. Just think of Attack on Titan. That's where it's going to end up. What do you think about
Oh,
it?
I have no expectations of it, which is what I love.
It's so ridiculous.
Because like I don't want to put myself in another position of what I did with fucking Game of Thrones, and then they hit us for a fucking loop. And I'd be pissed off.
it's nothing like that. It's
Yeah.
it's very well structured and everything like that with Attack on Titan. But if you read the manga, oh my god, you would not know at all where this thing is going and
Yeah.
what to expect. It's ridiculous. I always read the mangas first because I don't have time to watch the shows and everything like that. So
like
yeah.
a few of them, like I've dove into, like when it came to like Hunter by Hunter.
Yeah.
Like that was one I was like, especially with how the show pretty much just kind of cut off and then went into Parasite, and that was like a short season, and it's like, all right, so give us back Hunter x Hunter. Like, come on. But yeah, that I read up because I was just like, I loved those characters so much.
One Punch Man.
Yeah.
But the first season. Second season is absolute trash because the animation house changed. It's not Madhouse doing
Yeah, I
the
wasn't
animation.
happy about the animation house changing, but the story itself was still pretty good.
Yeah, and again, the manga. Well, I read the manga and the webcomics. I know where it's kind of going. But that's a show where it's where there's a lot of fighting. I'll watch the shows as well.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan not really about fighting. It's more about the whole story arc where
Yeah,
things are
it's
going.
very much the politics and
But
the
One Punch
factions.
Man, it's all about the fighting, and that's why I was so disappointed with the second season because Madhouse was the studio that creates the first season, made it look like ridiculous.
It took so fucking long to get the second season.
But
man. Like,
the
Jesus.
second season, because Madhouse had doing other stuff, so they got to another studio, and that studio absolutely butchered that season. I don't know how or what, but yeah, there's a whole bunch of animes to look at.
Yeah, before we jump into that, let's go back to some. I'm saying before we dive into that rabbit hole, because we could be on that. That's
Oh, yeah.
another hour within itself. I wanted to say like a show that I genuinely loved throughout all my heart, Parks and Rec. Though
That was-
technically it came out 2009,
When did it end though?
2015, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so that could end. Yeah, you could say one
But
of the
that,
shows.
because I don't know, say 2009, we'll count it, even though like we're doing like 2010 to 2019,
Mm-hmm.
because when it comes to TV shows, they always start in September.
Yeah,
So it's like we can let that slide. But that was
Parks and Rec is hilarious.
that. Like I always put like, you know, you have The Office, Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Like those are like my like
well,
shows.
I still watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's
I love Brooklyn
hilarious.
Nine-Nine. Like these are like the shows where I'm just like, doesn't matter what time of day, what time of year.
Could always watch it.
Just throw it on. I could be doing whatever. I'll probably get distracted from doing whatever and just like watch like episode after episode and love it, man. Like those shows are just like that. But yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Parks and Rec, man.
And I want to say Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I don't know where. Well, obviously it just started. It's this year, but the quality. Have you seen any of the Mandalorian?
Yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes.
Okay, so yeah, you still have a quick.
Yeah, I've started very slow because I wanted to like finish a few shows that I was
Yeah,
on first.
I'm not gonna spoil anything, but
Yeah.
the quality. I could tell you right now. There's a quick space battle. Obviously, it's Star Wars. It happens.
There better be.
It lasts for like a minute or two. the quality is the highest quality you've ever seen in any Star Wars movies,
Oh, yeah.
even the movies that are coming out now.
Oh no, I've heard.
And it's the story itself is just it's that old samurai, that old cowboy, and
Yeah,
he's
it's
just moving
the
on next to
spaghetti
next.
western
Yeah,
type
and
of-
that is the story is very compelling. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, but the show of how I'm a big Jon Favreau fan because I know he can really produce and everything. And I can tell you a very famous comedian.
Yeah, Bill Burr's in it.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I know he's in it.
You're gonna love him in it. He's ridiculous.
Oh, because like I listened to his
All
podcast.
I can tell you- all I can
when I
tell
heard he
you-
was in, I was like, well, I was going to watch it anyways.
All I can tell you, Space Boston does exist.
Space Boston.
Space Boston does exist because he has the accent.
Yeah.
And he does two jokes that are so hilarious. It's gonna make you cry. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. You have to see for yourself.
I'll get to it, man.
But when you see it, you're like, this is absolutely Bill Burr. You can tell he's just doing it on his own.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. But yeah.
No, I'm looking forward to that.
But Jon Favreau, no, creating that whole series with
well, like,
Pedro
what
Pascal.
I like that they did with it is like they got writers that know Star Wars.
That's right.
Like they didn't go and just get famous writers to come in and write about something they don't understand. Like people who've written the novels, people who've written the video games, the movies, like they've gotten people that know the lore and know the history and know the world or the universe technically of Star Wars. So because of that, you're getting great quality content.
And like the last Star Wars movies that came out, Rogue One I think is one of the best. Is the best.
Oh yeah.
Next to Empire, Rogue One is the best movie.
And like you can flip a coin with me.
Empire
and
is
I'll be happy
first,
either
but
way.
Rogue One.
Rogue One was
The
by
guy-
far with these new ones that have come out.
The guy who did the music is doing the music for the series of it. Amazing. And
You always still got to sprinkle in a little John Williams in there.
I don't think John Williams not at all.
He hasn't touched any music in
Nothing.
it?
It's the guy from Rogue One completely.
Oh shit!
Guy from Rogue One completely in it.
I'm shocked.
But I don't want to make this too long because I know we don't have so much time. But another show I could say is one of the best in a long time. Narcos.
Yeah, that was the last one I was going
Last
to
one, yeah.
mention.
Narcos.
That was literally the last one I was going to mention.
Narcos. Narcos. The realism of having what's his face, Pablo
Pablo Escobar.
It's like because I remember a little bit for when I was younger the whole thing with Pablo Escobar, how much it was a big thing. But to actually see it in an episode like that and see, I like those old things where these people invaded the cartel and to see the kind of level of danger they were put in.
Oh yeah.
Just to expose a whole bunch of shit. And Pedro Pascal is like one of my favorite actors of this decade. I could say he is the Mandalorian. He was in that movie there with the spies. Oh fuck, Kingsman.
Yeah,
I liked him in that too. He's
actually
amazing.
Because he's done.
And he's from Game of Thrones.
He's in Game of Thrones. He's in Narcos. Mandalorian. There was another one.
He's in one. He's the main bad guy in Wonder Woman that's coming out right now. It's him.
Yeah, he's got a roster right now.
He's on a roll right now.
There's another movie that I'm thinking of that I just can't remember the name of that he was in. But yeah, he's been on a fucking run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's really good in TV shows though. I think movies he's good. He's great in movies. He's great, but TV shows, like especially Mandalorian, where you don't see. We're obviously gonna see his face later on. We haven't even seen, no spoil. We haven't seen his face. They don't plan to, but I think it's gonna lead up to something like that later on, maybe next season. I don't know.
Well, usually the main Mandalorian in all Star Wars, you never see their face.
No, well,
But yeah, no, Narcos in itself, like Narcos, and even Narcos Mexico was incredible as well. Man.
I didn't see that one though. I didn't see that one.
Watch it.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, like there's a few characters that overlap, but it's fucking good, man.
Nice.
Like the way they ended that season, I was just like, yo, this is taking it to another level. Because the thing about the Narcos Mexico, it's like we know it's still going on today, type of shit.
Yeah.
So like you get like they had El Chapo's in it. I think it's fucking good.
Like you can get the thing with those kind of shows is because I know I'm not sure. Do they film on site there
For the most part, I know like obviously there's certain areas where they won't be able to.
Yeah, because you can get killed.
Yeah,
just
it's
doing shit
definitely
that.
like scenes are shot in Mexico and
Okay.
everything, and in Colombia and everything.
I don't know, these TV right now in general on TV, it's the best it's ever been. That's why people are going back to TV now. Before it was movies, people were going, I can't, like ER actors are all going into movies now. Everyone's going back to TV.
It's not even just going back to TV, it's going back to quality.
Quality,
because
yeah. Quality
there's still
TV.
a lot of stuff that are coming out that I wouldn't waste a second watching, you know? But, you know, like we had like a moment where we kind of got binge crazy, where because like streaming was the new thing and shows were just coming out quickly, we would like, you'd rush through shows, and then like once they were done, you're just kind of like,
You're waiting for the next one.
either you're waiting or you wouldn't even remember what you watched because you went through it so quickly, which is why like I appreciate a lot of these streaming sites now. Like they're going back to like, you know, we're going to release an episode a week, or like maybe they'll give you like the first 3-4 episodes
one thing
and
Disney's
then do
doing.
one a week. It's like, get us back into like anticipation, get us back into like digesting story, you know?
One last show I forgot to mention. I can't believe I forgot to mention this. Stranger Things. I can't believe I forgot Stranger Things.
I fell off of that, man.
You fell off?
Yeah, like I after the second season, like it took me forever to get through the second season, and like once I was done, I was like, yeah, I don't think this is for me.
The last season, to me, I think personally was better than the second season.
Yeah,
and it's just a level of quality that, what's his face? Is it Steve? The main with his character evolution is ridiculous. He went from an asshole to like the hero. He is the main character of that story to me. Not even 11, the girl, because I'm like, okay, she could do stuff with her mind and shit, but then they bring other characters is what make the story around her and everything like that. It gets a little bit ridiculous. I want to tell you, in season 3, the Terminator is in this. And when I am not joking when I say the Terminator is in Stranger Things. it looks like Arnold. It talks like Arnold. It moves like Arnold from the movie.
Is it Arnold?
It's close enough.
I can't believe it's not butter.
It's close enough. It's close enough. And it's so he even like, you know, when Terminator he walks in and he moves his head and moves like slowly and around like that. Yeah. He does the exact same thing. The Terminator is in this. He cannot be stopped. He cannot be reasoned with. I'm not even joking when I say that.
I'll give it like the 2-episode try. But if I'm still getting that feeling of this is a trek, I just got to call it.
It's not a trek. It's not a trek. I can tell you this season.
Well, like if you're saying season 3 was better than season 2, then to me, I'll definitely give it the run, because that's what I'm saying. Like it took me a lot to get through season 2. That was my biggest problem with it. It was just it was a slow trudge up a hill for me.
Yeah. That's all the TV shows I really had.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. I don't think anything else. Tyler, do you have anything else?
Quick honorable mentions and shit.
Any honorable mentions or anything that you want to mention? Yeah, I don't know any other TV shows.
Honorable mentions. Big Mouth.
I saw a little bit.
That's
Big
just
Mouth.
a raunchy, hilarious cartoon.
Big Mouth. F is for Family from Bill Burr.
I was going to mention that.
Pretty
as well.
good too.
Bob's Burgers.
I never really watched Bob's Burgers. I heard it's funny. People like it.
The 100, even though the last season, terrible.
I never seen that.
The last
show.
season they just did was fucking terrible. I was not a fan. I hope they turn it around.
Well, I've seen a little bit of season 1 of The Expanse, but I don't know how good that is.
I don't think I ever watched
it's the space opera thing.
House of Cards. That's another honorable mention. That was a great series until we know what happened with that. We know what happened there.
Well, I've never seen this series, but I'm sure people have Orange is the New Black or whatever. I'm sure people seen it.
That,
I don't know. I have never seen
season 1, season 2, great.
After that, it went down
for me, because I found like they tried. It got too comedic for me.
Okay.
And it was especially like I started watching that, and then I started watching Wentworth, and like Wentworth was just like, yo, Australian women in prison, but like they took that shit seriously. Like there was ain't no comedy in that show.
It was like Oz but with women.
Yes, like they were like, yo.
Westworld.
Yeah,
Westworld.
That's another good one.
Westworld.
Quick honorable mentions. Black Mirror, but the UK seasons of Black Mirror.
I didn't see
not the American seasons.
I didn't see any of them.
The American seasons of Black Mirror is shit. Better Call Saul. That's a great fucking show. BoJack Horseman, another good one.
Never seen it.
You'd like that. What else? I'm just running through the quick list here, so I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
That's about it.
I don't think I've any other ones.
Nothing else I could really think of that, deserves that bump. Oh, Rick and Morty.
Oh shit! Probably one of the best
wrong with
cartoons,
us?
Rick and Morty. Yeah.
How do we not talk about
Rick and Morty?
It's too late. Honorable mention.
Oh, this is this in the decade though? Community? I think Community is within the decade. I hope. Please be in the decade. Please be in the decade.
Fucking question.
Please be in the decade. We're actually looking right in this Community.
Yeah.
Community.
Check.
I'm checking. First episode, 2009.
In.
Yes, Community's in.
We'll say it started in September.
Community. Community. Yeah, Community. I could say is one of my all-time favorite comedies. Community.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah.
Then they had the whole campaign, 6 seasons in a movie.
It did get 6 seasons, but not. Well, still
need a
waiting for that
movie.
movie. We're just waiting for that movie.
You know, fucking movie.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Yeah, same.
All right. So we are going to end this on. This is the last episode of the
Any
of
last
2019
last episode of the decade, man.
decade. I feel
Look at
old.
that.
I feel
Look at
old.
that. We made it. Episode 99, which means we're gonna start the new year.
With episode 100,
Episode 100.
I think we're going to get a guest on this.
Yeah, we should. We should get a throwback guest. Somebody we like.
Who?
I guess.
Or get a whole bunch of people. I don't know.
We'll see what we can do.
We'll see what we can do.
We got a couple weeks to figure it out.
Yeah, we got a lot of time. So I'm not. Well, we're gonna come back in January. I'm not sure. Everyone want to take time off and vacation, so
Yeah.
we'll decide that.
Bare minimum, we're gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Bare minimum.
And we'll see after that.
When we know for sure, we'll shoot out the messages on all the social medias to let you guys know when we're coming back. But in the meantime, thank you guys for being there with us through 99 episodes of this debaucherous waste of time.
it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse.
If you thought we were bad before, we've learned nothing.
It's gonna get worse.
But in all honesty,
All the controversies will come out.
oh yeah, it's gonna.
I'll-
We're airing dirty laundry.
Not this year. This year I've been told to be nice. I've been very quiet. I've been behind controlling the controls. I've been very nice to a lot of people that I could have been mean to.
Move it on.
But I'm very nice right now, and thanks everyone for sticking with us for this year, and we're gonna continue to make it even bigger and better, hopefully.
Yeah, man.
And if you guys want to come on, you know who to reach. You can reach us at all that stuff, and we're glad to have you all on.
Yeah, just wanna say once again, Merry Christmas,
Oh,
Happy Kwanzaa.
big shout out to Tyler too for helping us out this
Our
year.
broski, who's helped us level up in ways that unimaginable. Honestly, a lot of this wouldn't be done if it weren't for this great man.
Tyler, he has bad choice in teams, but he has a great choice in how to do a podcast and producing this for us.
He
and
never wants to get on the
we
mic.
do appreciate his help and his support, and we thank you. We'll continue thanking you as we
Damn
do
right.
this.
Damn freaking right. And to all of our listeners, as I was saying, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Festivus. We want you to have a great, safe holiday season. Please enjoy it with your loved ones and anybody that you care about. Shoot us messages if you're feeling lonely. My DMs are always open to give you some encouraging words to let you know that you've got someone on your side. We will see you in 2020. Thanks for coming with us on this journey. Peace, everyone.
Take care.